This is a story about how easily the mind can build a whole world out of wanting alone. There once were two friends, scholars named Zhu and Ming, who stopped to rest at an old mountain temple on their travels. Inside, faded but still vivid, was a great mural covering an entire wall. A heavenly maiden scattering flowers, her expression so lifelike that Zhu could not look away. The longer he stared, the more the painted flowers seemed to drift, the more her painted eyes seemed to follow him. His friend Ming laughed and moved on to admire other art in the temple. Zhu stayed rooted before the wall, unable to look away from her face. And then, without knowing how, Zhu was no longer standing before the wall. He was inside it. Around him spread a heavenly garden pavilion, bathed in soft golden light, flower petals drifting endlessly through the air as though the painting itself had become the whole of the world. He walked forward in a daze, and there she was, the maiden from the mural, no longer flat and painted, but standing before him, breathing, real, scattering petals from a woven basket exactly as she had on the wall. Zhu lived inside the painting as though no other world existed. He and the maiden grew close, and one evening her companions gathered around her, laughing, braiding her long hair up into the style of a married woman. A quiet, playful signal that she now belonged to someone, that Zhu was no longer merely a visitor in this world, but part of it. For a while, inside the wall, he was simply happy and did not think once about the temple or his friend Ming or the life he had stepped out of to be here. Then, without warning, alarms swept through the garden. A fierce armored guardian was coming to search the halls for any intruder who did not belong. The maidens scattered in a panic, and the maiden Zhu loved pushed him toward a low couch, whispering for him to hide beneath it and stay silent. Zhu crouched in the dark, heart pounding, listening to heavy armored footsteps pass close by, terrified in a way he had never been terrified in his ordinary life beyond the wall. Outside, in the ordinary world, Meng had noticed something strange. The maiden's painted hair on the mural, which moments ago had hung loose, now appeared braided up, exactly like a married woman's. Uneasy, Meng knocked on the wall and called his friend's name. Inside the painting, the sound cracked through the golden light like thunder. Zhu felt himself pulled backward, torn from beneath the couch, torn from the garden, torn from her, and found himself standing once again before the flat, silent mural, dazed, his heart still pounding from a fear that no longer had anywhere to go. Shaken, the two friends found the old monk who tended the temple and asked him to explain what had happened, how a painting could swallow a manhole, how paint could braid its own hair. The old monk looked at the mural for a long moment, then simply said, "Illusion arises from the self. This humble monk has nothing to explain." He offered no spell, no lesson, no warning against wandering minds. He only pointed, gently, back at Zhu himself, as if to say that the wall had shown him nothing that his own wanting had not already placed there.